Welcome to the highest and best podcast, episode number 1 with Erica Kolika and Stevie Hahn. We're here.
Finally,
fam.
We've been talking about doing a podcast for so long, and it's really exciting to finally be doing our first episode.
Woo! We don't know what we're doing, but that's okay. You guys are along with us for the ride.
For the journey.
So the journey, I know, right? So we're just going to start by introducing ourselves and telling you guys a little bit about how we met, how we got here. You want to start, Stevie?
Yeah, well, you and I basically got on Clubhouse together when Clubhouse was the hot thing to be on, right? We were talking about it the other day. I don't think anyone's on Clubhouse anymore, but that's how we met.
No.
With three other agents. It was 5 total, I think. And
yeah, there were 5 of us.
Yeah, and we were doing it every single Monday. We had different topics. People were coming on. They were asking questions. It reminded me a lot of the mastermind call that I was doing every single week for over a year and a half. And just like, I love showing up for other agents, answering questions. And you did too. And, we kind of just got on the phone one day, months after Clubhouse, right? And had this idea. We both got so excited about it. And it's just another great way for us to show up, help other real estate agents, providing free content. And I just love the community aspect of it. It's so great.
Totally. It's so nice to just be able to share ideas with people that are like-minded and, don't look at you like you're insane, which in my offices, some of them I've worked in, I've had ideas and people look at me like, oh, what are you, crazy, right? But I think, we're all here, we're all similar, and, we do things that work, which is really cool. And, we're willing to share. So yeah, we, after we hit it off on Clubhouse, we just always kept in touch, and
we never met in person.
We just thought we've never
never
met in person. There's going to be a day. Which is insane.
But one day.
Welcome to 2021.
I know, right?
What's that?
One day we'll meet in person.
Oh, it'll be so much fun. I can't wait.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why we're here. And we are just excited to be here.
So tell everyone about you.
I'm
so curious to know, like, how long have you been in the business? What got you into the business?
That's a good question. I actually fell into it, believe it or not. So I've been in real estate sales since I was about 17 years old. My best friend's dad was a builder developer and was kind enough to offer me an opportunity to sit in his open houses of his new construction homes. And, I was unlicensed. I was under 18. And so I would just literally open the door for people and let them in. Yeah. And for every house that I sold or I gave him the lead and they would close it, he would give me $1,000. And these are $500,000 homes.
Well, and when you're 17, isn't $1,000 so much?
So much money. And I'm like, wow, there's 20 houses in this subdivision. I can make $20,000 or $10,000 on top of my hourly. So I got really bit by the real estate bug at that point because I just became sort of obsessed with it. I went and I drained my little bank account. I had $500 in it. And I went and bought every book at Borders books of how to sell real estate, how to, do all that stuff. And so people would walk in and I would just read from these scripts that I had memorized. Hi, are you working with an agent? How long have you been looking? Where's your current home? And I, at 17 years old, and their braces on, they're who is this person?
Oh, that's so good.
So yeah, that's where it started. And then, I went to college. I studied fashion merchandising in San Francisco, and I actually missed real estate. So I did the unthinkable, and I dropped out of college at 21 years old in 2004, and everyone's like, "You're crazy! What are you doing? Gosh. You're never gonna make money."
Yeah, because at that time,
this was back.
There wasn't a entrepreneurship wasn't a really cool thing. It was the thing to do. What your parents wanted you to do was go to college, right? Get the benefits, get the retirement,
right? Absolutely. 100%. I mean, you were a big fat loser if you did not go to college. 100%. I just knew my passion was within real
Mhm.
estate. And so it didn't, I was paying for my own college. I was getting like into so much debt. And I'm like, this just doesn't make sense. I can go sell houses and not have any debt. And that's what I did at
Yeah.
22.
What a
So
blessing to be able
here
to
we
get
are.
into it so young. Because I'm always thinking, like, oh, I wish I would have started so much earlier. But I truly believe everything happens for a reason and timing and yada yada. So,
Yeah. So when did you start?
um, I
Tell
had
me
technically
about.
got licensed and it's been like almost 7 years now, but I didn't do anything with it for years. And I basically
Wow.
was, before I got my license, I was working several jobs. And one of my jobs, like people that I was working with, they were so passionate about it. And I always felt like I always had good work ethic. I always worked since I was young. I always had multiple jobs. But I was like, I want to be like that. I want to be excited and passionate about my job. But what I was doing, I wasn't excited about it. And so I knew in order to figure out what it was that I was passionate about, I need to try new things. So I decided to get my real estate license merely just to like learn about it. I was intrigued, but I never thought I would do real estate full time. Kind of where I was mentally, I had no self confidence. Like I feel so sad saying that now,
Wow.
but I'm like I really didn't think that I was capable or smart enough or knew enough people or all those things. So I didn't do anything with it for a while. And then finally, once I got started, I couldn't stop.
You were unstoppable for obvious reasons, right? Well, and I think like that's a lot of the secret sauce, right? Is just being able to to do, right? A lot of people don't follow
Yeah.
up. They don't answer their
Or
phone.
I
And
feel like I just
yeah,
didn't know what to do. And now I feel
yeah.
like there's so much more training and there's so much more online. There's so much free content, with podcasts. And I was doing the mastermind and I was like, gosh, I wish I knew about stuff like that when I first got started, especially the free stuff because I had no money. So I was like, it's been so helpful for me even years later to do things like this and connect with people. It gets you fired up and you learn new things. And I just really wish I had that in the beginning.
Well,
Yeah,
it's okay
I
because
just
you're
I
here
figured
now.
it out.
And
So
yeah, just watching you grow though, I mean, in such a short amount of time really since we've connected online has been really cool. You just, when I see your content and your videos, it shines through you like that you love what you do and that you're reliable and trustworthy and I think that that stuff all really matters and that's why both
Mhm.
you and I are able to close deals from Instagram every day, right?
Yes.
You said something that really like struck me is in the beginning you didn't have
Hmm.
confidence and that like I'm telling you right now if they say like fake it till you make
Hmm.
it, right?
Yeah.
Like it's that is the difference sometimes between like right because once you start to get your
Hmm.
legs and you close one deal and you close another and you get a referral like you can go from like
Yeah.
here to here, right? Like very quickly. And I think for newer agents just like practicing how do I not practicing but yeah faking it or whatever just kind of getting that confidence is just so important,
Well, when I first started, I didn't have the
um
confidence to like read, all the training is like reach out to your sphere and your friends and your family. And I should have done that, but I didn't do that. And so I was all about meeting new people and meeting people who didn't know that I was brand new and I hadn't had a closing before. Like I felt more confident with that. So I was all about putting on events and open houses. I would do 3 open houses a weekend, 2 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday. And I felt like, with the fake it to the make it was like when these people came in, they didn't know that I was brand new. And I remember my first actual showing, gosh, I was so nervous. I went to that house 30 minutes in advance. I went through every room and I was like, what are they going to ask me? I was so worried about the questions because I didn't want them to know that I was brand new and I didn't want to be like, I don't know. And I even was researching the HOA covenant and restrictions. Like I was so nervous that they were going to ask me
I love
something
it.
about the HOA. And now I'm like, I get there right at the showing. If they ask me something, I just say, good question. I'm not sure, but I will get you an answer very, very quickly. I just feel like you overanalyze it so much, right?
Totally. I did the same. It's funny. I'm laughing because I used to do the same thing. Like I remember I would go and look at these houses before, right? I would do the tour on my own, take notes on like an MLS listing ticket in my car, and then go, just so that, like you said, so that you could be ready to answer, I was 22 years old, 23, like at any, oh, sure. Yes, I know that. And just so I didn't look stupid, but totally. So, well, that's great. Okay.
Okay, so let's tell everybody where they can follow us on Instagram, because that is a huge place where we get business and where we do connect with other real estate agents. So mine is at Sold by Stevie. And yours?
Yes. And mine is at Meet Erica, MEETERICA, Meet Erica. And, those are two brands right there, right? So that's another thing, is your handle is like your brand, which we'll get into that in another episode, I'm sure. What I really love about working with Chris Kemp is that he literally will reply to messages and emails from my clients and I in real time. And that's so important, because when you're in a multiple offer situation and you're getting ready to put that offer in, and your client wants to know how much their monthly payment is, or can they afford that $30,000 over asking that, they need to write in order to secure the deal, he will literally get right back to you, or someone from his team will get right back to you and get your questions answered. He's been in residential lending now for about 21 years, and he has been just so supportive of everything that me and my team have done. And I just see him support other agents by, having luncheons or supporting their open houses, in all those ways too, which is also really cool. His annual production, you guys, is crazy impressive. He's one of the best in the country at $123 million in loan volume every year, with 468 single transactions. Like, holy shit, that's crazy. Hashtag goals, right? So if you guys are looking for a residential lender, Chris Kemp's your guy. He's with Flagstar Bank. He's in the Metro Detroit area, but can do a loan anywhere in the country. Follow him on Instagram. It's Chris Kemp at Flagstar Bank. And yeah, just tell him Highest and Best sent you. I'm going to ask you this question because I just love it. Like, what is in your bag, or what is in your trunk? Like, what things do you have that get you through your day?
My trunk, I have a lot of the essentials, like multiple lock boxes. I have signs, and I even have the riders in my car, because you just never know when you want to take a photo of like under contract or just sold. So I have those in there. And it's a smaller one, but it's a tripod that's just easy to travel with, because I have another one that's like so bulky and I just leave at the house. But I have one that I travel with, and people are always asking, like, who takes your photos? I'm like, my tripod. Then usually my laptop, notebook, and then my buyer's guides, because anytime someone mentions buying a house and I'm like, oh, okay, I got you. Let me just give you this free value, this free information. I feel like it's such a great way to not be salesy. I'm just like, here, do you know about the upfront cost with buying? They're usually like, no. And how much, do you know how much an inspection is? They have no idea if they've never bought a house before, and you're just giving them something for free. People love that, especially when you have it ready in your trunk. So I always keep them with me.
That's awesome. And those are available on Etsy, right?
I sell those on
Don't
Etsy.
you sell those?
Yeah, my buyer guide, my seller guide, everyone can customize them on Canva. I've been selling them for years.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. And you know what? It's such an easy thing, right? To just keep on you and have that. I've never actually seen anyone have that myself personally. So, that's like the added bonus. That's great.
What's in your trunk?
Very cool. Oh gosh. Well, all of what you mentioned. Okay. And I do not leave my house without a protein shake.
Yes.
Okay. I have these like vegan protein shakes that I love, that like, because sometimes we're like in our car for, like 8 hours in the day, and, I don't want to make an unhealthy
Yeah,
choice.
absolutely. I'm
So
always bringing snacks and
I
things with. So
I
what brand
know.
is the protein shake?
Oh my goodness, you're gonna laugh. It's in my
What?
car right now. I'll have to say in the
Okay.
next one. I literally don't know. I know what it looks like. I get them off
Okay.
Amazon and they just have like everything in it that you need and they don't taste
Yeah.
like
Do
shit
you
either.
just mix it with
That's the good
water
part.
or?
So yeah, it's just like it comes
Oh, okay,
prepared.
got it.
So you just
Yes.
drink it and then I have a banana on me usually.
Yes.
Like I'm such a health freak because like, otherwise I'm either like one side of the
Yeah.
spectrum or the other. Like I'm either health freak or you'll find me like in a drive-thru at Culver's, like eating a burger with nothing on it. Like, and
Yeah.
that's it. Like so embarrassing, but
I'm the same way. I always like bringing stuff with me and not having to stop because I'll make an unhealthy choice.
Exactly. Like, what else is
Yes.
in my bag? Notebook, lip gloss. I cannot live without lip gloss. Like I have to have lip gloss at all
Same.
times.
And I have like the
Those
same
are,
color, like 5 variations of the same shade. And I'm like, what?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Right. Too funny. Well, good. So
So we
now
didn't
what?
we didn't tell people what market we're in. Like,
Oh my God, you guys. I'm awkward. I just want to like give this disclaimer.
you're,
So when I make awkward pauses and shit, it's because
no
I'm
one knows.
awkward.
No one will
So
know.
um, I'm just gonna announce it so that they'll know. Yeah. So what did you just say? I
The market that we're
blanked on
in.
that.
So I'm in Jacksonville, Florida. It's Northeast
Yes.
Florida and servicing Jacksonville, St. Augustine, and Ponte Vedra Beach.
Awesome. And I am in Metro Detroit. I live in downtown Detroit, so I service within anywhere 2 hours of downtown Detroit. So Oakland County, Wayne County, Macomb.
Have you always been
Yeah.
there?
So yeah, I actually grew up in the city, and then we moved to the suburbs. When I was like 8 or
Yeah.
something, and then my husband and I have lived downtown for like 8
hmm
years now. So we're just city
Yeah.
dwellers. Like we just love the diversity and the activity, the
So are you in
sports.
a
He loves the
condo
sports.
downtown or a town? Okay.
Yeah, we're in a
Oh, cool.
townhome in an area called Brush Park. And yeah, it's really fun. We have a little dog. His name's Jagger. He's a 10-pound Yorkie
Oh,
Maltese.
cute.
And I know you have a little dog too, right?
Yes. Little Goldie.
She's adorable. How old
She's
is she?
9. Yeah.
9.
And
That's
she's a
awesome.
Chihuahua, but she's a cool Chihuahua. I actually ran into a vet the other day and I was asking her, I'm like, how long do Chihuahuas live? And I was, talking about Goldie, and when I told her she was a Chihuahua, she was like, "Oh," like everyone always gives that face, like, "Oh, you have a Chihuahua, cool." And I'm like, "No, no, she's a cool Chihuahua. She doesn't bark.
She's a calm
She's
one.
so calm. She's so chill." And anytime someone meets her, they're like, "This is a Chihuahua? What?"
Mine's insane. He's a Yorkie and he's just nuts, like barking all
Yeah.
the time. So, and he's 8.
Oh, they're around the same age.
Do you ever take your dog on showings or anything, or
Um,
like do you leave him
I
at
only
home
have a
for her?
couple times, but usually I'm stopping in at multiple places when I'm going out, and it's like, well, if it's a store, I don't want to bring her inside. Although I'm sure no one would really say anything, but I don't usually bring her with me.
Totally.
So what is your favorite thing about being a realtor?
My favorite thing about being a realtor, I love meeting new
Yes.
people all day, every day. Like you never know what you're going
It's
to
so different.
get.
You really never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, literally. Like the good, the bad, the in
Yeah.
between. Because I get really bored easily.
Same.
So just waking up and not knowing where the day is going to take me, that and just meeting all these people, like, and some are really great that are like
hmm
amazing, and then some are
Yeah.
really not so amazing,
The part of
and
every day is so
so
different and you don't know what you're waking up to. Like that really excites me, but also scares me at the same time. I'm like, wait, what's gonna happen though?
oh
You know?
right, like
Yeah.
today, right here we are filming, so we both have had this in our calendar
Yeah.
for a long time, and we've had fires to put out the past
Yes.
24 hours,
I
both
had
of us.
gotten a very extensive repair request from a buyer on my listing that we have to dive into whenever we're done with this. And then I found out late afternoon that one of my deals, the condo had denied them for X reason. And I'm like, what? We're supposed to close on Friday and my buyer is
Oh
closing
my
on
God.
their house. So it's like lots of fires to put out. You just never know.
No, and that's, I mean, it's good
Yeah.
and it's bad, right?
But we're
Like,
all
yeah,
about
I
figuring
had,
out solutions, and we will keep these
yeah,
deals going.
exactly. Yeah. And that's the thing too, like, is you just
Yeah.
keep going. Like just
Yeah.
don't ever, like I have a seller right now who's like, well, he's lived in this
Mhm.
house for 30 years. So he's talk about
Oh, yeah.
attached. There's no one more attached than this seller. He's every day calls me, well, if this inspection doesn't work out, I'll just wait till next year. I heard prices are going to be higher, and we're literally like, we're at a record sales price right now, and knock on wood, we get the appraisal
Mhm.
back. But, yeah, so it's just, you just have to keep them hopeful and on track,
Yeah.
and, hey, that's okay. It's up to you, but one step at a time, and
Yeah.
we'll get
For
there.
a while though, like when
So,
problems would arise, like I would freak out, stress so much, couldn't sleep. And now it's like, let's just figure out the solution. There's only I hate not being able to control things, right? Like I'm sure we all wish that we could control
yeah,
everything in the transaction, but we can't. And sometimes things are out of our control and there isn't a fix. But I'm like, I will exhaust all options to try to figure it out. But
absolutely. That's what we do.
that is what we do. And some of my favorite things are like there are so many satisfying moments, closing day, getting that seller, maybe they were a lot of times like it isn't a happy time for a buyer or a seller, right? Like there's a death or a divorce or all these different scenarios. But to be able to help someone through might be like the hardest time that they've ever gone through in their life and to be there for them it's just really satisfying and rewarding and then also getting listing appointments and I love leaving a buyer consult when a buyer they come in so shy and like kind of timid. I feel like they're like,
Yeah.
oh god, we got to go meet this realtor, they're probably going to be so salesy, and I can just see like their walls up. It's the same with like an open house. And then I love like just being myself, and then once they leave I can see like they're laughing, their walls are down, and then they're excited and I'm like, oh, that just makes me so excited.
And then you like get a friend
Yeah, I'm
afterwards,
like, all
right?
right, let
Like
me add
that's
you
what's
on
so cool
Instagram.
too. Yeah, I know. It's
Yeah.
totally right on.
What?
Well, and with buyers, it being so difficult for them to get homes right now too, you go through this
Gosh,
journey of like them falling in love and you telling, don't fall in love yet. Like just wait, right?
100%.
And that you know, whole thing is just interesting, right? Like I have a guy right now, he's an engineer, which, engineers are a little more, and I'm a crazy, I'm crossing every T and dotting every I personally, but he and his wife have been erratically sending me text messages every day. And I'm like, I had to call him. I'm like, you know what? You're going to find a house. It's been 5
Wow.
days. Like, let's keep a Google
Yeah,
spreadsheet and then you update it. I'll update it. We'll make our comments and, you're going to find one in the next 30 days to 2 months, 100%. So
yeah.
just giving them that assurance, right? Because there's this like panic that sets in when there's no inventory of like, oh my God, like I can't find a house, right? So then they start like panic buying almost.
Totally.
Like people are panic buying toilet paper and stuff right now sometimes. But yeah, it's like this panic real estate shopping.
What is your least favorite thing about being a realtor?
Ooh, it's my least favorite thing. Gosh, it's so as much as I love the dynamic, you don't know what you're going to get. I can also hate
Yeah.
that sometimes because, right? Sometimes you are in a wedding, you
Oh, gosh.
have a personal event,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And like you have to
Yeah.
detach. And then I go through this like guilt of like, that's not their fault that I'm doing this. Like, and so I can never, it's been, well, I don't want to say never because I'm working on it. Like it's been challenging for me to be in my life's moments and enjoy my, my life sometimes when there's things going on, you know, with work. But yeah, and just, you know, for me, it's been learning to create boundaries too, and just, you know, not be stressed all the time
I know.
over
How do you
everything.
not stress about it?
Oh, I stress about it. Just ask my husband. You know, I got that weighted blanket at night. You know, I
Oh,
put that on. I spray some lavender spray on my bed, like blackout room. No light. Like I definitely have my zen
I
that like my room is like a
I
hotel,
love that. I
like
love my weighted blanket.
bedroom.
Love it.
Yes. Life
Um,
saving.
yeah, I guess probably my least favorite thing is like tough conversations. Like yesterday when I found out that the condo had declined this for my buyer, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to call him right now and tell him this. And his house is packed, supposed to be signing tomorrow on his primary, closing on Friday, and I'm just like, all right, I got to make this call. You
Uh,
know, and like making that call is like gut wrenching. But you know, I guess at that time I hated doing it, but I was like, okay, I'm just gonna show him that I'm figuring it out. Here's my options. I just wanted to be open with him on what was going on, and that I was working on it. That's all you can do.
yeah, it's a matter of fact, right? You're just
Yeah.
delivering the facts over, and you know, you can't sit on that either. You've got to act
Yes.
on it even when you don't want to make that call,
Yeah.
right? So, yeah, that is super
Even,
difficult.
gosh, I feel like we're going to always be talking real estate stories, but that's the beauty behind the podcast. I
Yeah.
love hearing other agent stories. Plus, you can just learn so much with the
Same.
situation, how they handled it. But I had an appraisal done on my listing last week, and we're like, okay, great. And my TC's following up. Hey, what's the result? What's the result? And we found out that the appraiser wasn't able to find comps and reached out because it's in a new construction neighborhood, reached out to the builder, wasn't able to get a hold of anybody, and decided to just drop the appraisal and assign it to someone else. And I was like, what? And I'm like, well, what about the comps I gave them? Like, I gave them comps that were comparable. So
Wow.
I never had that happen before, and we're trying to communicate with the lender, and he's just like, you know, it's a third party. We immediately ordered a new one, but now that we had to order a new one, now closing is delayed. So I had to make that call this morning too. I was just like,
Oh my God.
uh,
Yeah. And so there's so many things too that are like out of our
yeah,
control that you can't even imagine that might
yeah.
even
And you
pop
know,
up. Like you know,
some
it's just,
clients
it's there.
are understanding and they get it and they realize that it is out of our control, but you know, some clients are like, no, it has to close, or they're gonna pay me, or they start acting crazy, you know, and they're all stressed out. And I'm like, I get it. I get that this isn't the outcome we all wanted. We're all upset about it, but you know, we're trying to expedite the appraisal, but that's the best that we can do, you
Just,
know?
yeah, it is what it
It's
is at
it's
that
it's
point.
so great that
Yeah.
it's an awesome seller's market, but then, you know, that keeps the appraisers super busy and overwhelmed. And so this might happen with the effect of being in a seller's market. So pros and cons to everything, right?
Totally.
Um,
Well,
Go ahead.
gosh. So I think anything else we want to add on intros? I mean, I think we're good.
I think we're good. I'm so
Go
excited to
ahead.
dive in because we have so many different topic ideas. And yeah, let's just wrap this one up, put a pretty bow on it, and see you guys on the next one.
Yeah. See you guys on the next one. And don't forget to follow Highest and Best on Instagram.
Yeah.
Questions that you want to
Yes.
hear answered, whatever, DM us. We're listening.
Yeah, we
So
would love to.
see you next
All right. Bye,
episode.
guys.
I'm so bad. Bye.